While some would have us believe that the Holocaust never happened, and others want us to forgive and forget, survivors and their rescuers bear an unrelenting witness to events of the time, which, even after 50 years, they believe it is their obligation to share with us and our obligation to know and remember. Joseph Berzminski, a Jewish survivor, and Stephania Podgorska, his Catholic rescuer, returned to the city of Przemysl in southeast Poland in July 1990 to relive for us some of their unforgettable experiences of that time. Their story begins when Joseph, along with other members of his family, were caught by German troops in the city's ghetto and loaded onto the waiting cattle cars, preparing to bring them to the gas chambers and crematoria of the nearby Belzec death camp. Thus, Joseph Berzminski began a 2-year journey which was to take him and Stephania Podgorska to the other side of faith.
It was the date November 18, 1942. It was Wednesday evening. The date I cannot forget in all my life. It was dark, and they pushed me with my brother and cousin, the rest of my family, to the train. It was crowded with people, maybe about 100 of them, like sardines. And they pushed inside, and the people were screaming, was sitting on dirt. They couldn't control themselves, was crying, and was panic there, and smelled unbelievable. And I was looking, there was a man who liked to commit suicide, who liked to hang himself. He said, I will not go for soap. They will make soap for me. And he hanged himself. They cut him down. And he said, let me do this, don't interfere. That he pushed the people from away, and he hanged himself. I was trying to go through the window. It was similar window to this, only more narrow, like from the bottom to the bar, because it's closed on the top. There is different window. And I remember there was 4 barbed wires. And I came here, and I had in my pocket pliers, flat pliers, and I tried to break the barbed wires. I worked for a while, and I broke all 4 wires. I bent them, and I tried to jump with my head forward to the window. When I was forward, I saw the running trucks, gravels, and everything, and I thought for a while, this is not right, because this will suck me inside, it will cut me in pieces. So I said, please, take me back, take me back. They pulled me back inside. I said, I have to go with my leg forward. And they helped me to go with my leg forward. And I was hanging. When the train was taking a curve, I jumped forward. That's the curve there where I jumped from the train, from the window. And I was running through the tracks around there to see if somebody from my family survived. And I was going, looking, and then I find there 2 boys who were laying there. One had broken the collarbone, another has face scratched. Then I was going with the 2 boys. We were going along the tracks, and then we turned back on the side. Here was the way, and we went to forest.
In the morning, Joseph and his 2 friends chose to go their own ways. Joseph remembered that in the apartment where his family had lived before being forced into the ghetto, there still remained Stephania Podgorska, a young woman who had worked in the family store and had been taken in by the family. He wanted to believe that she would help him.
Oh, it was Joe, but really wasn't Joe. That was like different man. He looks like 3.5 disaster together. He looks terrible. So he asked me to let him in. So So I was 16 at that time. My sister Helena was 6. So when Joe came here, he asked he back just for one night. So how could I let him go next day that he didn't have place where to go, and he was still a little sick and conscious. So I let him stay 2 weeks. So my sister Helena, she asked who is the Joe and why he is here and why he is so look terrible. So I told her, explain that Joe is my friend and he is a Jew, and she didn't know who was the Jew because she was too young. And I explained her everything, and I took her also to the ghetto, and I showed her where Jews are and why they are sitting there and why Gestapo and German put them there to the ghetto. And I remembered that also my sister asked why Jews are there in the ghetto. That is people, because she saw that is people like she and I and others people. So I explained them that is war and the German Gestapo are killing Jews. But for what, I didn't know. So I told Helena what my mother told us, that God is one for all people.
Leaving Joseph with Helena in her apartment, Stephania walked to the farm where Joseph's brother Henrik and his fiancée Danuta worked under German guard. She told Henrik that Joseph had escaped and wanted him and Danuta to join them in the apartment. Henrik said it was too dangerous, but Danuta rejected Henrik's caution, eluded her guards that evening, and found her way to Stephania's apartment and safety.
2 days later, came to me some strange man, and when I opened the door, he just pushed the door and he came in, and Danuta was sitting at the window, and he looked and he directly pointed on Danuta, and he said, that's the girl, the Jewish girl that she have to return to the ghetto back because her fiancé wanted her there. So we didn't have choice, but in the evening we agree all, and Joe and Danuta, that they will return, they will not make bad time for me. One day, Joseph came to me and he suggested that maybe I will talk to the Mary who lived on the first floor. She was alone. That maybe we together both will take bigger apartment, and we will take from ghetto him and his brother and Danuta, and maybe we will help him. And next evening, I called Mary, and she came here, and I told her this idea. So Mary said to me, Steffi, that may be good idea, but not for us. Do you realize what that means? That Gestapo will kill if they will find that we are helping Jews. And she reminded me what happened, that Polish family, not long ago, that they helping Jews, and somehow Gestapo found out, and they killed all, they hanged all family, and I saw that, and that was horrible for me. So when Mary said, and she refused, and she said that she will not risk her life, she said that, Steffi, forget it, I got amnesia already, but I didn't stop to thinking.
As if guided, Stephania's search soon brought her to Tatarska number 3.
Was primitive, was no light, was no water inside. The toilet was outside. But for this my deadly business, that was really like a dream.
Joseph's immediate need was to secure safe hiding for himself, his brother, and Danuta. All other family members had by that time been taken away. He and Stephania quickly extended safety to others who escaped and found refuge with them.
This was the place where were living 13 people. Within them I was there. There was 4 children, and there was also women and men. We cut a quarter of the attic. We make a false wall. Then nobody can recognize. There were 2 windows, still was in place. We didn't cover the windows. And then we are living here on the bottom. There was apartment, was 2 rooms and a small kitchen. Our day normally was we were sitting crowded together, lying, somebody could sit, and we talk about pastime, about future, about everything what will happen, and about liberation. And always we talk that we have to be disciplined. If something will happen, we have to be prepared to fight or to be dead.
I remember very clearly that I expected 2 Jews from ghetto, 2 fathers, because their children already were in my home. And I observed through the window that was policeman was walking, and I knew they will caught them. So I went out and I looked around, and I thought that only God can help me. Suddenly I heard voice, a woman's voice, so quiet, so beautiful. She said to me, that will be everything all right. She said, don't worry, I am with you. Will be everything all right, go home. And when I came home, and this father still didn't come. And after a while, I observed the street that the policeman, the German and this one Polish policeman, they left. And exactly that time came one of these men, one father. And I asked, where is the second man? He said, he don't know because he lost him. After a while, there came another man, another father, and he stood on the backyard and he didn't know where to go. So his son was standing at the window, and he saw him, and he came to me and he said, Miss Podgorska, my father is there. Go, bring him here. And I quickly ran, and I took him, I brought him home. So I was expected, so maybe policemen, maybe Gestapo will come today, maybe an hour later, maybe at night will come. But thanks God, past few days, nobody came. So I thought, God knew you are here, and you take care, and thank you, and be with me, and helped me to help people. And everything was all right, thanks God. So I am here today and pray, and thanks God again that God helped me, that I am alive, and I helped these people, and these people are alive, and my sister. And I again thanks God.
By early spring 1943, among the very few Jews who escaped, 13 found refuge with Stephania and Helena. 16,000 other Jews from Przemysl perished by that time. The ghetto was soon empty. For Stephania and her 13, fear of disclosure was a constant concern.
One day, 2 SS men came to the backyard here, or front yard, and they looked around, and they came to me too, and they said, I have to move out. They gave me 2 hours because they will take my apartment for them. I asked why. They said they converted his school across, and they make a military hospital, and they needed apartment for themselves, for nurses. So they gave me 2 hours to move out of my apartments. If not, they will kill me. I told my people that I don't know what to do, where to go, where to look for apartment. It's impossible to find apartment in 2 hours. So they said, all my 13, they said, Steffi, we have to die, but you take your sister, Helena, and run away. You not have to die. You cannot help us anymore, but save your sister and your life, and run away, that you still have time. Suddenly I heard the voice. The voice was woman's voice, was so nice, was so quiet. And she said to me, don't worry, will be everything all right. You will not move out from this apartment. You will stay here. And then I got up and I told to my 13 that I will not move from this apartment. Will be everything all right, and I will stay in that apartment. And all 13, they looked at me, and these eyes I still sometimes see, like they looked to me, and I said, go to your bunker and be very quiet, I repeated. And when they went up, so I closed the door and I opened the windows, and I don't know, I felt so happy, so enjoy that I start to sing. And past exactly 2 hours, I was still stood at the window, came only one SS man, and he was so friendly, he smiled to me from far away. Then he came at the window and he said to me, that's very well I didn't move, because they will take only one of my room, and the other room I can stay. Very good that I didn't move.
This is the attic, but not like it was before. There's a lot of changes. There was here a wall here, then the false wall was like from here to here, about 6 feet, and the roof was going like this. So we were from here to here, and there was 13 people here, lying like sardine, head, legs, head, legs, head, legs. We could sit, we could not stretch the legs, we could not stretch our up, only like this, everybody. My position always was here on the bottom, and I was bent always, and I was watching, there was a small door, and I was watching if somebody was not coming, and the door was open to get a little fresh air, and then we are closing. So this is the result, my kyphoscoliosis here, because 2 years I was sitting, lying in such position. And this was the very, very difficult time, but we have to survive. We know that we have to go ahead, and we have to be strong enough to survive.
Obtaining food for 15 was a never-ending task.
As you see, this place here was a market, and I used to come here every day to buy food, vegetables and potatoes, all kind of food. Piece of bread and soup, that was their food.
The pressure was unrelenting.
One day, I came from work, and I looked at the window. These 2 nurses came with that SS man, and one soldiers. And the soldiers came with the rifles. And I knew that there's something wrong. And one nurse started running up on the attic.
And I heard some squeak, and just I said, a signal, everybody was quiet. I closed the doors and I was looking for a small opening. I saw the girl, she came, the nurse, she was looking around. And this around, that she came more higher, almost she was there looking, and then she came back down.
But can you imagine my frightening and my feeling that 4 German every night slept in the room and 13 Jews on the attic over their heads. My feeling was terrible. I expected every night, and I prayed to God. I expected that will come Gestapo and will kill us, me and Helena and all 13, anytime. One night we heard the fighting start. First, heavy artillery was very, very difficult, and so really was fighting and fighting by heavy artillery. So for sometimes people complain that that is terrible, but for us, that was like beautiful music. And for a few minutes, I stood still at the window. The soldiers, I saw 2 Russian soldiers, and they arrest these German soldiers, and they took them someplace, and the other 2 soldiers, Russian, they were walking and they turned to my home. And they start to ask me how was here in Poland and what German was doing and all questions.
When we heard that they said that they are chasing the German, they will never come back, they're going directly to the Berlin. So we opened the doors, we burst inside, and they were scared, they pick up the rifles, and it's, who are people? So my wife said, this is my people, and I will tell you who are there. They're Jewish people whom I was holding 2 years. I was saving their life, me and my little sister Helena. And then this man said, I am Jewish, the officer, and I am chasing German. I'm looking who, because they killed all my family. He started to cry. He said, and my duty is to find the collaborators with them and the German, and I have to give them back what they did to us.
These soldiers later turned to me and they embraced me, they lifted up me and Helena too, and they said, hero, hero, hero. She is bigger hero than we are. We are fighting with weapons, with rifles, with friends, and we have our country behind us. They didn't have nothing, 2 girls. And the second said, not 2 girls, girl and a half. And we laughed and was enjoy really for all of us, because we knew that as now maybe will be freedom for my people.
I believe in fate. The fate was always my guide, who helped me to save not only my life, but some other people. I lost my family, 22 people for my family, and I was still strong. I didn't give up, and I was trying to survive and help other people.
Some people say that I am a hero. I don't think so that I am a hero. I just did what I thought I should do. And thanks God, or they are alive. And that was my fate.
Joseph and Stephania may not wish us to see them as heroes, But in sharing their story, they want us to understand that the individual acts of moral courage from both rescuers and survivors must endure. In this they shall remain in our thoughts of the Holocaust period as our witness to what happened on the other side of faith. Stephania and Joseph married in Poland in 1945. They now live in Boston, Massachusetts, where Joseph is a dental surgeon and Stephania his office assistant. Helena is a physician in Poland. Of the 12 other Jews whose lives were saved, the Berzminskis believe 10 are still alive in Poland, Belgium, Israel, and in the United States. Joseph, whose real name is Max Diamant, lives with the slimmest of hope that one or both of his brothers, in spite of all the evidence that has been given to him, may still be alive, and that as a result of this program, they will be reunited.